All right, today we are going to be looking at how to factor trinomials when your coefficient is greater than 1. And I'm doing this into two parts. This is going to be part 1. All right, so let's look at a few examples. I don't know if you remember that long way that I showed you where you had to take the trinomial, turn it into a quadnomial, and then get back down to the two binomials. That's what we're going to be doing today, but we have something a little bit different. All right, so if you notice, we now have a coefficient of 2. We've got to deal with that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this first number and we're going to multiply it by the last number, okay? And that's going to give us the number that we come up with to get our factors, okay? So we're going to be looking for factors of negative 42 that multiply to equal negative 42, but when they add together, they equal that negative 1, okay? All right, so you think about it. Well, 6 and 7, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. So which pair, when I add them together, is going to equal negative 1? This pair. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace the one term in the middle with the two terms. So, and this is where you need to decide how you're going to group it. 6 to me goes better with 2, and 7 goes better with 21. Because again, we're going to be factoring by grouping, so you want to put them with pairs that you get a better GCF out of. Let's just put it that way. All right, so I'm going to put the 6 here and the negative 7 here. Now look, V. I need to make sure that these have V's on them because it doesn't equal just negative 1. It equals negative 1 V. So I'm going to put the V here. Now we did say that's a positive 6. So then what we do is we bring down the minus 21 and we bring down the 2V squared. Now I've got my quadnomial, F, O, I, and L. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor by grouping now. So I'm going to group the first two, I'm going to group the last two. I can pull out the GCF of 2, and they both have a V. All right, so 2V times what is 2V squared? That's a V. Plus 2V times what is 6V? That's a 3. And then I'm going to go ahead and put my V plus 3 and work backwards. V times what is negative 7? Well, that would be negative 7V. And then just to make sure it's negative 7 times positive 3, negative 21. All right, and so then your last step, remember, is you just put it into two parentheses. You take the duplicate and put it into one. And then the outside, the 2V and the minus 7, go into this one. And it does not matter the order. This is the same as the one above, okay? Because when you do the FOIL method, it's going to end up being the same thing. All right, so let's look at the second one. I'm going to change out markers. That one's bleeding a bit. All right, so first step, we take that first number and the last number, we multiply them together. So 3 times 1 is equal to 3. Now, magic middle number is 4. So I need two factors of 3 that equal 4. Well, this one's easy. It's 3's primes only got one set of factors. That's going to be 1 and 3. So we're going to replace the 4b with a 1b and a 3b. Now, I'm going to pair the 3 with the 3, and I'm going to pair the 1 with the 1. So I'm going to list the 3 first, put the b behind it, and I have a positive 1b. Again, you have to put the b because I have to add up to equal 4b. And then I bring down the plus 1. I bring down the 3b squared. Again, you need a sign in between there. That was a positive 3b. And then I group by my factor by grouping. I group the first two. I group the last two. I pull out a 3b, which is going to give me b plus 1. And so I know over here is b plus 1. We already have b plus 1, but I've got to have a number here to put with this one. So b times what is 1b? 1. You have to put the 1 there. And so then I'm going to put it down in my final. The 2 on the outside go together. So that's 3b and positive 1. And then duplicates go in the next one. So that's 3b plus 1 times b plus 1. Okay? All right. Let's look at number 3. All right, now the numbers are going to start getting a little bit bigger. So when the numbers start getting a little bit bigger, let's just stop and think about something. Just make sure that you can't pull a GCF out here. Is there a common factor of 3, 20, and 25? No. So what we got to do is we got to multiply the 3 times a positive 25. So 3 times positive 25 is going to be 75. And when these numbers start getting a little bit bigger, it's going to take you, you're definitely going to need the calculator. It's going to take you a little bit more work to find the factors. Okay, well for 75, we have, what, 25 and 3. That's not going to give us 20. Again, magic middle number is 20. 75 and 1 is not going to give us 20. Let's see how many times does 5 go into 75. So 75 divided by 5 is 15. 5 and 15, bingo, right there. 5 and 15. When I multiply them together, it equals 75. When I add them together, it equals 20. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the one term with 2. Now again, I'm going to pair these up. I'm going to put the 15 with the 3 because I could pull a GCF out of a 3, and I'm going to put the 5 with the 25 because I could pull a GCF of a 5 out. So I'm going to put a 15x plus a 5x, bring down that plus 25. Again, that's a positive 15x. You do have to have a sign in front of that. And then bring down your 3x squared. And then I'm going to factor by grouping. The first two, last two. Here I can pull out the 3x, which leaves me 3x times what is 3x squared? X plus 3x times what is 15x? 5. So I can cheat because I know this one has to be x plus 5 as well for this to work. And then work backwards. X times what is 5x? Well, that's 5. And then my final answer is you bring everything down. The ones that are the same, you put down in one. And the ones on the outside, you put down in the other. Now again, that's a positive 5. So that's why you put a plus 5 there. Okay. All right, let's look at another one, and then we're going to pause and let's do a couple. All right. We'll get some big numbers again, but you can tell right now that this is prime and there's not a common factor. So let's multiply 20 and 7. So 7 times 20 is going to be 140. All right, so let's start thinking of some factors of 140. Then when you add them together, equal 33. Well, 14 and 10 is definitely not going to work. 20 and 7 is definitely not going to work. Let's see. 2 and 70 is definitely not going to work. Let's try 5. 5 goes into 14 2 times, so 5 and 28. Ah, there we go. 5 and 28 will work because they'll add up to equal 33. Okay, so I'm going to break down my one term into 2. Now again, look at this. I'm going to put the 5 with the 20 because I can get a GCF of 5, and I'm going to put the 28 with the 7 because I can get a GCF of 7. So I'm going to put 28k plus 5k. That's a positive 28, so that helps you put the sign down there first. And then I bring down the plus 20, and then I bring down the 7k squared, and then I factor by grouping. The first two, the last two. I can pull out a 7k here, which is going to be 7k times what is 7k squared? K, plus 7k times what is 28k? 4. Now I know that this is going to be k plus 4 because I can cheat that way. So k times what is 5k? 5. And then just double check, is 5 times 4 20? Yep. So my final answer, I have 2 parentheses. The k plus 4 comes down in one, and the 2 outsides come in the other. Again, since that's a positive 5, you put a plus 5. And again, guys, it does not matter the order. It could go like this as well. Okay? All right. So what I want you to do is I want you to pause the video, and I want you to work on these two, and then we'll go over them. Okay? So go ahead and pause. All right, and I'm back. You know I can't pause. All right, so let's look at this. I'm going to take my 2 and my 6, and I'm going to multiply them together. Now 2 times 6 is 12. Now I need 2 factors of 12 that are going to equal positive 12 but negative 7. That's easy. Negative 4, negative 3. Okay, so I'm going to replace this. And again, I'm going to pair the 4 with the 2 and the negative 3 with the 6. So I should have negative 4v minus 3v. I bring down the plus 6. I bring down the 2v squared. So now you've got your FOIL. Now I'm going to factor by grouping. I'm going to pull out a 2v here, which is going to give me 2v times what is 2v squared? V minus 2v times what is a negative 4v? 2. I can cheat. I know this is going to be v minus 2. So v times what is negative 3v? A negative 3. Double check. Is negative 3 times negative 2 positive 6? Yep. So my final answer is going to be the v minus 2. You bring the duplicates down, and then you bring the outside down in the other one. So you have 2v minus 3 and v minus 2. So that should be the answer for number 1. All right, for number 2, you multiply 3 times negative 12. So 3 times negative 12, okay, is going to be negative 36. All right, now I need factors of negative 36, but when I add them together equal negative 5. Some of you probably already thinking about the 9 and the 4. All right, so if we have a negative 9 or a negative 4, which one's going to give us the negative 5? This one. That will give us the negative 5. So we're going to use the negative 9 and the 4. So we're going to replace this. I'm going to put the 9 with the 3 and the 4 with the 12. So I'm going to have a negative 9k. Remember, you got to use that middle, that term, plus 4k, because they have to add up to equal negative 5k. So now I'm going to bring down minus 12. I'm going to bring down 3k squared. And then I'm going to group the first two and the last two. And here I'm going to pull a GCF out of 3k. which is going to give me k minus 3. And then I pull out, oops, k minus 3 is here, same. So k times what is 4k? 4. And so my final answer is the k minus 3. And then I have a 3k and a positive 4. Okay? All right, and then we're going to do a part 2 video that's going to show what to do when you have a GCF first. Okay, watch the next one. Bye.